Let's try that again. Welcome, everybody. My name is Stephen Zacharias. I am a museum educator here at the Campbell County Rockpile Museum, located in Gillette, Wyoming. Today, you're joining us for a brand new experience. We are bringing to you one of our Black and Yellow Theater, Voices of the Powder River Basin from the Black Hills to Yellowstone programs, live via the internet. My name is Stephen Zacharias. I am a museum educator here at the Campbell County. And as you can see, I'm experiencing technical difficulties here today. I am my cameraman, I am my producer, and I am the technical coordinator today. So bear with me as we do this. Before we begin our program today, I would be remiss if I didn't make a brief statement about our world today. We have been experiencing historical times throughout this year of 2020. Recently, historian and Secretary of the Smithsonian, Mr. Lonnie Bunch, stated, "History is a guide to a better future and demonstrates that we can become a better society, but only if we collectively demand it from each other and from the institutions responsible for administering justice." Mr. Bunch also reminded us that all the institutes of history have a duty to address contemporary issues, and they can offer examples of historical resilience and creativity of people rising to meet challenges in the past. That we may not be community centers in the traditional sense, but that we can and should absolutely serve at the center of all our communities. Here at the Campbell County Rockpile Museum, we strive every day to embrace our role as members of the local community here in Gillette, Campbell County, the state of Wyoming, and the entire Powder River Basin. We are dedicated to being a museum that is inclusive of all people, that offers itself as a civic space where people come together for conversations that can help overcome local and national division. It is our hope to be a place where everyone's story is told, but most importantly, a place where everyone's story is heard. For when we take a moment to truly listen to the experiences of others, those who may not look like us, talk like us, or even live like us, it is in those moments that we are able to come to a place of agreement, not necessarily, but rather a place of understanding. A moment where, as the great Maya Angelou once said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." The first Saturday of June is celebrated as World Atlatl Day. Due to current programming concerns in the interest of health and public safety, we're trying something new here today. Instead of our traditional hands-on interactive experience we would normally provide, instead today we bring you this live program virtually over the internet via our YouTube channel. But before we begin, I do want to take a moment to first acknowledge those ancestors who left this portion of history in stone, wood, and bone. Today, we acknowledge the land that we currently identify as Campbell County, Wyoming, to be the traditional and ancestral hunting grounds of the Absolute, the Sutai and Sisistas, the Osheti Sekoan, the Numakiki, Haraka, Sanish, and the He Nanahe. Today, we pay respects to all the elders, past and present, and we choose to honor and acknowledge the original keepers of this land in hopes of building mutual respect and understanding across all cultures who reside and pass through here now and in the future. It is our hope by hosting programming like this today that we can foster a mutual understanding across all cultures that will produce stronger and vital civic interactions amongst all the citizens of the greater Powder River Basin. In just a moment, I will switch over to begin the program. And as the video plays, if you have any inquiries, be sure to leave them in the chat box here on our YouTube channel, and I will do my best to answer those questions at the conclusion of our program today. Thank you for joining us all this afternoon, and please enjoy our program.
Welcome to the Campbell County Rockpile Museum located here in Gillette, Wyoming. I'm museum educator Stephen Zacharias. Today I'd like to welcome you all to a very special edition of our Black and Yellow Theater, Voices of the Powder River Basin from the Black Hills to Yellowstone. This programming is traditionally done with all of you here with me live in person. We created Black and Yellow Theater as a way for you to have a hands-on, personal, interactive experience to explore the natural and cultural history of the Powder River Basin that stretches up to the north of us into Montana, to the east to the Black Hills of South Dakota, just a little bit south of us here in northeast Wyoming, and then off to the west into the Bighorn Mountains and Yellowstone. Today's program is a special one. Home on the Range, Atlatls and Darts, an ancient hunting weapon system. This program is one of my favorites that we offer, as it enables you to learn about this original hunting weapon that was used by nearly every continent and every people group, tracing back to the earliest man and women on this earth. We're going to head down now to our range located behind the museum that we have set up, where we can explore the Atlatl and the Dart. And hopefully you'll follow the links below in our video description that will enable you to participate at home. So come on down with me. Now, as I mentioned, our program, Home on the Range, Atlatls and Darts, an ancient hunting weapon system, is typically a program we would have you all here with me today, fully interactive and hands-on. Unfortunately, in the current day and age of public health and safety, that's not really possible right now. But we didn't want to let World Atlatl Day pass without still providing you some sort of program. So we're going to do our best today to celebrate World Atlatl Day. Now, what do you mean World Atlatl Day? It's an event that occurred for the first time in the state of New York in 2011 and was adopted by the World Atlatl Association in 2012. It's celebrated annually on the first Saturday in June worldwide to celebrate the world's earliest hunting weapon system, that of the Atlatl and the Dart. What do you mean, Atlatl and Dart? Well, this is an Atlatl, usually made of bone or wood, more often wood, with a bone spur. Could be moose, could be bison, could be deer or elk, and some leather straps or tongs. The Atlatl is a weapon system that has been used worldwide by early man on almost every continent. The term is actually an old Aztec language word. In the Aztec language it comes from, it translates loosely into water thrower. This system, this hunting system, was used by the Aztecs for harvesting fish. They used it as a water thrower into that, using a long dart, anywhere from 5 to 7 feet long, typically made of some flexible wood or river cane. In this case, it is far more flexible than the thing it's often compared to, that of a spear. A spear is a different hunting weapon system. It's much heavier, it's thicker, it doesn't fly as far, and it is thrown solely by your hand. The problem with that is it's not nearly as accurate, it is not nearly as fast, and it doesn't go as far. Even if I were to throw this dart with my bare hand, it wouldn't go as far as if I used this extra length on my arm, the Atlatl, where I apply the spur into the dart itself, lay it across the Atlatl, gripping it with my forefinger and thumb, and then launching it at my target. This weapon could be thrown many different ways. It depends on the thrower. A lot of people suggest that early man, woman, they would actually have it down below their waist, and they would launch it in a similar fashion to a tennis player lobbing up a serve. More modern Atlatl users are often seen throwing it more like a pitcher throws a baseball, and they throw it from shoulder level. This weapon has been used worldwide. Like I said, the Aztecs used it for fishing. In the Northwest Territories of Canada and Alaska, the Aboriginals there, the natives there, the First Peoples, they used it as a harpoon system for hunting whales. Here in America, in North America specifically, it was used to hunt megafauna, things like mastodon, the woolly mammoth, the steppe bison, and other animals. The peoples in Europe still to this day use this as a duck and geese hunting weapon, hunting birds out of the air. It has been used worldwide and is still currently popular with the Aboriginals of Australia, who say they have an accuracy of about 60 to 90 meters when hunting with this weapon system. This is a communal weapon. If you can hold an Atlatl and a dart, and you can make the throwing motion, you can use this weapon. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, young or old. It would usually, when thinking about a steppe bison, much larger than the American bison we know today, or the woolly mammoth, or the Shasta ground sloth, these are animals where it's going to take multiple darts. So you need your whole community to come out and help you take down that animal, to feed your family and your friends, to provide shelter and clothing through its hide and bones. Now, here in Wyoming, we know this is an ancient weapon system that has been used for many generations now. The first evidence, or the earliest evidence here in Wyoming, was discovered by some archaeologists in the 1950s outside of Ten Sleep, Wyoming, just on the other side of the state from us here in Gillette. They were exploring a cave known today as the Spring Creek Cave, where they discovered remnants and pieces of several different Atlatls and the elements of the dart system here as well. Amongst the elements of the dart and Atlatl that were found in that cave, they also found remains primarily of bison, but also some pronghorn and deer as well. The remains, as well as the elements of the Atlatl and dart system that were discovered in that cave, date back to about 50 BC. The year 50 BC is when we know it was in use here in Wyoming. Now comes the part I wish you were all here with me today for. That's the fun part, where we have set up our range and we're going to attempt to take down our pronghorn here. Now, if you click on the links below in our video description, you will find links to the World Atlatl Association. There you can find a scoring guide and the rules for how you can create your own setup at your home or at your ranch or in your backyard. You just need to have a good backdrop, a target, official target, which you can print off, and about 15 to 20 meters plus. You get 5 shots from 15 meters and then another 5 shots from 20 meters. Print off the scorecard, keep track of the points that you earn, and whatever your final average is, feel free to submit to the World Atlatl Association and show them how you celebrated today's World Atlatl Day. Now if I could just hit my target. That's my gonna be my problem today. Overcompensating and undercompensating. That should have hit. Oh, I could have sworn from this angle it was gonna hit. Ooh. About time. Take my own advice and start taking my eyes where they're supposed to be.
Well, there you have it, the Atlatl and dart in use at our range. It took me a few tries, but eventually hit my target. And we even had some live targets come out and inspect what we were doing there, as you saw with the mule deer there at the end. I'm getting some reports here via the internet that it's a little windy outside today here in Campbell County, and that throwing a dart has been a little bit of a challenge for a few of our folks that are out there celebrating this day today. One of the things I did want to talk about a little bit was the Atlatl is not just one specific style or type, just like the cultures that use them, the people that use them. They come in all shapes and sizes and varieties, made with different kinds of wood, different kinds of bone, and then decorated differently. This Atlatl that you see that I'm holding here, this is in the style of what they call the basket maker tradition. So the basket makers were a people group located mainly throughout the Southwest United States today. And they are the early ancestors of groups that we see associated with the Grand Canyon, places around New Mexico and parts of Utah. And so this is a styled after the basket maker tradition, made of wood and bone. I also have one here that's made of birch, found in the spruce and birch, which was found throughout the Athabascan regions in the interior of Alaska. You can see it's got fancy sinew, or a type of material that's made from the tendons and the ligaments of an animal. This is moose sinew, and it's used mainly as decoration. Here at the top, though, it does hold this moose bone spur in place. And this has a different style of handle grip. It's more of a trigger style grip, whereas the basket maker, you just see this leather strap with two hoops where you pinch with your fingers and are able to use it that way. If you pay attention down below in the descriptions, you can actually make your own Atlatl at home, thanks to our friends at the Utah History site. They have a list there that you can go to the hardware store, pick up a paint stirrer and some dowels, wooden dowels, and you can make your own Atlatl at home. This is one that I made yesterday for this presentation. Made some dowels using duct tape for the fletching, and then just use a pencil sharpener to sharpen the dowels there. The program will be posted on YouTube. We'll stay there live, and then we will also make sure to share it on our social media accounts at the Campbell County Rockpile Museum. Please visit us at www.rockpilemuseum.com, We have a variety of educational and online resources for people of all ages and interests. Our museum covers the cultural and natural history of the Powder River Basin, to the north of us in Montana, to our east to the Black Hills of South Dakota, just south of us almost to Fort Laramie, and then to our west, bounded in by Yellowstone and the Bighorn Mountains. We have a variety of subject matter, from dinosaurs to modern energy. If it happened between those two things, we have something in our collection related to it. Feel free to check on our online exhibits, but also the next time you're traveling on Interstate 90 headed to Yellowstone, or perhaps the Black Hills, jump off the freeway and come visit us. We're open Monday through Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time, and we would be happy to see you there, see you here. We do have one question coming in. Want to know what the function of a weight for the Atlatl was. So here behind me in our glass case, we actually do have several Atlatl weights. So if I were to take this Atlatl and apply one of those weights, using again sinew to that, I could improve the balance of this Atlatl, and that will help me when in range of motion. That weight also slows down the Atlatl's progress, which will cut down on its sending sound waves towards my target. It acts similar to a silencer by simultaneously balancing and slowing down the Atlatl. It will reduce any kind of sound or movement that would spook whatever my target is. Don't be alarmed. It is the afternoon time in the summertime in Wyoming. So the noise you hear going off, the alarm you hear going off, is to let us know that we have a thunderstorm watch in effect. So don't be alarmed. Nothing to be concerned about right now. I do appreciate that question. I hope that answers your question for you regarding the function of the weights on the Atlatl. Well, like I said, we do hope that you will take time to explore our website, visit us in person or online anytime. There are learning lab experiences for STEM research. There are access to our online collection items that may not be on display necessarily here in the museum right now. We also have some virtual interactive online museum exhibits from our past that you can first-person style walk through and explore at your own rate. And we are always adding things to that website, so please check back regularly for opportunities that may interest you. Again, we're located in Gillette, Wyoming, just off Interstate 90 here in Campbell County, Wyoming. And we wanted to say thank you all of you for joining in with us today. And we'll see you next time when we bring you yet another Black and Yellow Theater virtually. We are working on some behind the scenes stuff right now to create new programming for you, and pay attention to our YouTube channel. We'll let you know when those are happening. Thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.